6,928.
Wow, it's impressive.
We're planning on 90 or something.
So,
Yes.
110.
Yep,
so, thank you.
so there's 110 that went to the warrant articles. The fund warrant articles.
Good work. Yeah, I think it's important, especially we have our buildings and grounds, is that we're continually doing these smaller projects at the end of the year. Takes the pressure off the regular budget, and we're still able to give back to the taxpayer, so it's a good balance, in my opinion, and I think the board, and I think it was Melissa, myself, and Leaf that, you know, came to that conclusion the night in August, because we had a deadline to meet. But I think we were prudent in our spend and prudent in our give back, so thank you for that information.
Yeah, you got it.
And thank you for the update. Any questions on the facility or anything that we just went over for anybody? Again, building in good shape, so. Next up, operational reports, the treasurer's report for June of 2025 and July. Any incremental information, Amy, you need to touch down on, or no?
No,
You good?
yep,
Okay. Any questions from the fellow board members on?
No, makes
No,
sense.
okay. Next up, we're item number 7, board business. Committee updates. Buildings and grounds charge approval and appointments, and I'm gonna defer to Mr. Chamberlain again. We just kind of convened before our board meeting tonight. We have nominated people, so I'll let him run down the meeting we had.
It's great. Thank you. We appreciate beginning the journey with the Mont Vernon Buildings Grounds. So there is a memo in the packet about just the charge of the committee, which is to oversee maintenance, repair, and expansion of the Mont Vernon Village School. So hopefully they can be an action item to adopt that charge to the Mont Vernon Building and Grounds. And then we would like to appoint Dave Cataret, Dave Tuschinski, and James Strozier as members of the Mont Vernon Building and Grounds. And also affirm that the chair will be Mr. David Tuschinski. Thank you for your service. And Mr. Strozier will be the secretary, and Mr. Cataret will be the representative to the SAU-wide Organization of Building and Grounds folks. So the action for the board is to first adopt the charge and then to appoint Mr. Strozier, Mr. Cataret, and Mr. Tuschinski.
Have a motion?
I will move that we adopt the charge of the committee.
As presented.
As presented.
Second by Mr. Rogers. All those in favor? Passes 5-0. Thank you. We have a motion for our board members and their assignments.
All right, I will move that we approve the board members and their assignments as presented.
Second.
Second again by Mr. Rogers. Any questions for the gentlemen that have stepped to the plate for the community? All those in favor of those assignments? Passes 5-0. Thank you, and thank you again for stepping up, and please look forward to seeing you at our meetings. Next up is our board correspondence. Do we have anything incremental?
We're gonna
miss something?
assign one of us to go to the oversight group.
Yes, so we need to,
Sorry.
yeah, no, we're good. The Facilities Oversight Group, we do have a community member that we affirmed, right? And we need to have one board member prefer, someone who's on, building and grounds to go. These meetings are gonna, as often as possible, be held prior to the SAU meetings. So the board members can go from there to there. So we just need one of those people. I'm not sure if there's been a conversation about who might that be.
Colin told me I have to do it. Yeah, that's right, that's what it was. I'd be willing to go, assuming that Colin could be an alternate when I can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'll make a motion that Mr. Stokinger is our rep to the SAU Buildings and Grounds with Mr. Rogers as first alternate.
Second.
Second by Mr. Rogers. All those in favor of those some appointments. Thank you, Andrew, Ellen. Passes 5-0.
And then Amy,
Yeah.
do we wanna have you lead us through the budget subcommittees?
Yes.
Okay.
So I shared the master budget calendar with all of you a while ago. You don't need to pull it up. But there are, as you can recall, the budget subcommittees that meet following the draft one presentation. So we have a full budget, review committee, which is great. We have 3 members. So they will be attending one of these meetings, as will a board member who's assigned to go to those meetings. There's no need for quorum, it's just a subcommittee. I set these meetings up as Zoom optional, so you can take them during your lunch break from work if needed. So they are the week of October 27th through 31st. Monday through Wednesday, there's 2 on Monday, 2 on Tuesday, and 3 on Wednesday. So facilities and technology are both on Monday, 11 to 12, 12 to 1. Student services is Tuesday, 11 to 12. Food service / transportation is Tuesday, 12 to 1. Curriculum is Wednesday, 11 to 12. Administrations, 12 to 1, and warrant articles, 1 to 2. So if you folks can assign yourselves to those subcommittees, that would be great, and I'll send out calendar invites to you.
I'll take Tuesday, the 28th. I'll take student services and food service transportation.
Okay.
Maybe board members who are on other committees already.
Yeah, anybody, right?
I mean,
Anybody, yeah.
Anybody?
I can do the 29th.
I don't, I'll be able to do any, this is right in the middle of the workday for me,
Okay.
so I'll probably be in DC that week.
Okay.
So,
That's a bad time for you too, please.
I can probably,
Zoom it, or I don't want to put you on a line at work. That's,
I probably can do the one on, what, the 27th,
20th and Monday.
yeah.
Mr.
And there's
Anderson,
Zoom option, right, Amy? I believe there's a Zoom option.
if something
Yeah.
comes up, holler at me, okay?
Yeah,
And we'll go leaf on Monday.
Yeah.
And then Pete will be a backup on Monday.
okay.
If something
I'll
comes
invite-
up.
I'll
That
invite
work,
you to
Leaf?
those.
Appreciate it.
probably back up the 29th, maybe. I just know I'll be in DC at a minimum weekend, 26, I just don't want to be there.
So I can just invite you to the 29th, you said?
I could be a backup.
Okay, I'll invite you and then. And then just as a reminder, and I'll go through this with the folks who haven't been through it before, but there is the question submission form. So if you're not able to make the meeting for some reason or have some additional questions, you can ask questions through the form. So,
And if you're not familiar with that, reach out to Amy and she'd be glad to walk you through how. to-
yeah, we'll go through some of it.
It's a
and
good
we can
tool.
Submit draft one, but yeah,
Yeah.
I'm happy to have a one-on-one meeting with people, Zoom or in person, to show you how to use that.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
And then Pete, board correspondence, we wanted to, as we get into some of this work, have it, at times, there's community members who email. Email the board, they email the superintendent, and, especially when you're doing some, significant budget work. Or you're doing facility work, the questions come up or thoughts and ideas or concerns. And so we just wanted a place to kind of house them and look for themes. And so we started that. There's one for MV that was sent to all 3 districts about the cell phones. And so it's in there, but you guys can, note these things as they come along. It's like a placeholder. And so I can anticipate maybe some facility conversations happening as we get farther along into our work. So wanted to have that. So that's that section. Just want to explain it.
Thank you. Next up is item number 8, policies approved by the SAU board. If you click on that, you can see that Mr. Amber and I are on the policy committee this year. Again, part of our effort is to obviously act on new things like the cell phone policy, but also to clean up policies that need to get scrubbed a little bit to align with state policy writings as best we can where it makes sense. And also to get our policies updated. We're kind of behind. We're working as diligently as we can to get up to date. We've got some that haven't been touched in quite some time. So that's the basic premise of the policy committee. Do we need to go through every one?
You don't have to go through what you can,
First read.
yeah, no,
Is this
it's an approval, and so what you can do, there's an attachment, credit to, you know, Chelsea Borden, our, you know, executive assistant at the SAU does a really nice job of organizing this.
Yeah.
Making it very easy. The policy committee it's a time consuming committee, so I'm always grateful for, you know, people who make time for that. It's not at the best time either, and so we are doing a nice job of, you know, getting through that, and obviously, what I'm hoping for people to do, if you guys just look in your recommendation. I'm looking for board action to approve and adopt policies as presented. And you can just approve the slate. So board to approve and adopt a slate of policies as presented.
Before we get to that, do you have anything you want to add, since you know, you're part of the conversation?
Yeah, I don't have much to add on these, I think. The big thing is kind of cleaning up. Well, like we have multiple policies for like addressing drug use, tobacco, I think the idea was to kind of clean that up and consolidate it into. Fewer policies, right, so that's why we're rescinding a couple of them and it's consolidated into one.
I mean, just the other day, we talked about a policy where each district has a different policy written for the same exact thing. Just a few words here and there. So we're trying to streamline and reduce how many, I think we're over 300 or some, and the average school has like 150. So we're like 2x policies in our little handbook. So, which is fine, but we're just, to Lee's point, we're trying to lean and align as best we can, so. Questions or comments on any of the policies as presented? I'll take a motion to accept policy ADB, GBEC, policy ADC, policy BEDH, policy DFA, policy JICD, and policy JLP.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve and adopt the policies as presented.
So,
You
Second,
got it right there.
second,
On.
second from Ms. Oliver. All those in favor of accepting the policies as presented? Thank you. That passes 5-0. And we are up
We
to,
gotta rescind a couple.
Oh, okay, I make a motion to rescind the
Oh,
two
I'm sorry.
policies as presented, GBED and JICG.
motion by Mr. Stokinger, seconded by Mr. Rogers. All those in favor of rescinding those two policies? Passes 5-0. Thank you, Andrew, for being the motioner tonight. We now are in public comment 2 of 2. Do we have any comments or questions from our live audience? Seeing none, Mr. Zokas, do we have anybody online that has their hand raised?
Two folks online, nobody has their hand raised.
You wanna ask what the school owns for property, you can probably show you. You wanted to know how much land we own.
Yes. What he said.
Just state your name, so,
James Treasure, 14 Purgatory.
thank you.
Yeah. What does the school own?
Yeah, how much
For
land?
the two presenting, you know, from Harriman, just to understand what encroachments look like for a building. or not encroachments, what our property looks like from where we would build.
And do we have a big map?
Sure, yeah, I'm sure we do. We can get that.
Yeah, I can look into finding
the
that
folder.
information.
We've had it, James.
Okay, so that's,
It probably is in the folder that, I'll give you access to a whole bunch of stuff.
But it's,
So that's-
what's on the screen plus is a whole bunch, right?
Yeah.
okay. And so this is where you're saying, and I see playground, there's not an adjustment there or.
Not for that one.
But for this proposal. This would be, rerouting. Around the fire lane around
Over here.
and. Be the west. Side, northwest side of the park.
We own the land, there's a little bit of slope to it.
Yeah, we own stuff down here, I know.
That stuff. Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But. Understood, thank you.
I do actually have something, the Edward Ford, 23 Old Milford. Timelines, is that all spelled out in online on deadlines that have been established? On where we're at with accepting these plans, moving forward with it if it's approved? Because I do have questions on, I did come to the meeting earlier this year. And there was a hard deadline to extend our commitment to Amherst Middle with our kids. Did that go through? And I apologize, I did not read up too much on this. But I feel as though, is there a 5-year plan, 4-year plan, 2-year plan? Is that what we're getting to?
So let me try to answer as many questions and Mr. Chamberlain can jump in or any other board member.
And I know that's very vague on
No, no.
kind of some
So-
things there.
We don't have a hard deadline, and I would say we do not have a 2 or 3 or 4 and a 5-year plan. What we do have is the fact that we want to get proposals circled back to the community with the revisions that we've asked for to Harriman based on what we now know that we can afford from a bond payment structure. We also want to get back to the community on the tuition agreement, and that is in progress.
Right now where we are, Mount Vernon, has, partnered with legal, to lead them through the tuition, agreement, renegotiations. Amherst has done the same. And so now we are coordinating, that conversation between both boards. And, we're gonna probably get into it. Is there a timeline on that, Mr. Chandler? I know you're involved with that, but I think in the next week or so.
So if time permits, it is posted as a non-public meeting tonight,
For an update.
for tuition, if the board has time tonight. If not, it can be happening soon, but yes. The notice, as you said, has to be made to the Amherst School Board by October 1. And then they have an affirmative response by October 30th. And so those deadlines are hard in the tuition agreement, and the board is well aware and moving over the summer, progressing to be able to meet those deadlines. And then, whatever happens has to go to the March deliberative session and ballot vote. Well, whatever it's 1, 2, 3, 4, or 30, whatever it is, it has to go to the March vote.
The hope was that we would have as much information as possible before we went to those negotiations. So that's why you kind of see us racing now. So there's not like a deadline for us to get information. It's more like we would like to have it before we go negotiate with them. And then even if we wanted to build, that's going to take multiple years. So the idea is that we're probably going to have to come to some sort of agreement for at minimum 2 years, if not more, because it's not guaranteed that the town would vote for us to build anything.
Correct.
Right? So we're probably going to seek some sort of agreement, but we don't know what. And it would probably take us 5 years even if we wanted to build a school.
Correct, right, I think that's what was spelled out
Yep.
earlier this year, that even though we're in the preliminary stages of this, it's going to take some time. It's, if we're gonna be continuing with Amherst, I've heard that we have very little say in curriculum. and what happens at Amherst, and we're paying our, for our kids to go there, and we have nothing to show for it.
We have a lot of information about what they have chosen, but we don't need to be involved in the choice. And we have a lot of say in what staff is hired at the SAU level and what programs they put into place. We know about it. And I'll give my opinion here as a board member. They presented all this to me, and I find currently the Amherst Middle School is very well run. Right?
Oh, I have no doubt
Right,
about
right.
that. I just,
So,
do we have any voting privileges?
absolutely.
We don't have any of that. Is that something that is in negotiations, being a part of, where we can have some sort of vote in our kids at Amherst?
So that role would be outside of the scope of the tuition agreement.
Okay,
It would be forming a cooperative agreement, which would require significant town votes on both sides. So that the tuition agreement is, you just pay. Like Sauhegan, it's a cooperative, it's a Sauhegan Cooperative School District.
Yeah.
Means Mount Vernon has members on the board and say, that's the tuition. So if that could be part of the request someday to join a co-op with Amherst, whether or not Amherst would relinquish some of that control, that's all possible.
I hope our town is well informed on being budget neutral on a school that we have complete control over. So,
Good, thank you, good questions, and encourage your community members to look for the night when we're gonna represent and have a final type of thing.
We need a, I think we have time to get it all.
Okay.
But before we go to non-public, I just want to welcome back Danae. Danae, I forgot when you were coming, sitting down, Danae is over in the corner. Again, very lucky that Danae is able here to take minutes and does a fantastic job and very timely. So, she also sits in on policy and building and grounds meetings around the district and the SAU, so she knows stuff. So we're good, but I do need a non-public, so.
Okay. So at 6:24, we'll take a motion to go into non-public, pursuant to RSA 91-A:3(2).
Motion. See you, NJ.
Motion by Mr. Rogers,
Second. I'll second.
second by Mr. Amber. All those in favor? Thank you. Thank you, public members, and your involvement.